A big hello to you. It's great to see you, and I do hope that you are well. I'm Jenny Kirk, welcoming you back up here to Weir Yard, where we're still on with the amazing rebuild. And you're very welcome to join me on this continuing journey. And now, I do feel quite liberated, and you'll have seen that in the last couple of episodes, because once you get going with a project like this, it really does kind of feed itself. The biggest apprehension is that moment just before starting, and I'd kind of been putting it off and putting it off, and I got overwhelmed with other stuff, as you saw on that Monday club. And once I started, it like unleashed the floodgates of creativity. So I'm really pleased to be cracking on with the rebuild, and it's actually going quite quickly. Today's video comes in association with Trainomatic, makers of DCT decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Find the full range available to order now at tramfabriek.co.uk. We're proud to be supported by TMC, the Model Centre, your first choice for new and used. Pre-order all forthcoming models with confidence, or check out the extensive listings of second-hand. Each model is checked by experts in the field to make sure you're getting the very best. With new models uploaded daily, there's always something new to find. You can also specify from their value weathering and renumbering service right through to bespoke graffiti to get exactly the model that you want. Get something special today by browsing at themodelcentre.com. I'm back on another day on the build, and I'm just test fitting some more of the items that I've bought. And this is from the Scenecraft range. It's a low relief bridge structure. You can see underneath the trackwork has developed, and this is an area that was a big part of the rebuild. And I've been test fitting to some degree some of the track. You can see right back here, the point which is the lead into the lower end of Weir Yard is all in and up and running, but it's created an issue, and that is the clearance on the tunnel mouth that's in here. So a little bit of breakage, but I can fix that. But this now, I'm able to slide it out, and I need to widen the opening, and I'm not sure how to go about doing this just underneath there. I've got a lot of adapting. I think one of the things that I actually really quite like about projects like this is adapting products, not necessarily using them as fully intended by the manufacturer, kit bashing, if you will. So essentially, I will mix and match between different Scaledale, Scenecraft, and also ratio kits too. I've got a few of those, and I'm going to try and make everything all fit together. But I've done the lead out of the yard by scraping back the ballast. Just hot water freed up all the ballast, scraped it away, and just reorientated the track. And that actually seems to have worked quite well, but it's meant that the curve and the geometry of the track doesn't fit with this tunnel mouth. So what I'm going to see is, let me just slot that back in, move that right over. This bit just cracked off. It's most annoying, but it is fairly unobtrusive, and I will glue this in so that everything fits back together. You won't really notice when I'm done. But I'm wondering whether I can move this tunnel portal across, because if I carefully knock out this bottom bit, you can see that there's quite a bit of this tunnel mouth that was just always hidden in the mountain. So there is scope to trim off this other side. You can see how close it is to the track now, and move the arch over. And the big thing becomes the clearance underneath here. So on the basis that the 4DD is the entire envelope of the southern region, and I'm not really sure how generous that was, but I'm hoping that this is quite big. We've got a little bit of space, so I'm going to use, I've got like a circular saw which I can use to very carefully cut a little bit off the end to slide the tunnel portal over, and then I will check the clearances. So I'm going to go away and do that, and I think the secret with this is a little and often. Don't try and be a hero. It's easy to take a little bit more off, but you can't put it back on.
It's true.
So I'm going to go and do that. The only issue will be up on the top, you can see the little pier. So what I might do is just try and make it so it tessellates into the retaining wall that's over here on the other side. You can see that I've got the little retaining wall here. That's immobile, it can't move, can't change anything, but maybe I can trim a notch in just there and slide that over the top, just dig out a little bit here. So I'm going to try and do that. So here it is. I've used my circular saw just to cut a nice neat groove. The water's just to keep the dust down, wash a bit of that off. And then I used a dreadnought file just to neaten up the very top. I left a notch so we still got the full width and that ornate top is intact. And hopefully this is now going to fit into a new location. Just slide that down and in. So just behind the signal into that corner, you can see it just kind of notches down. I've already cut away a little bit of this, it will get neatened up. And that does seem to fit all right. It is super tight. Now, let's just, that point actually had a IP digital underneath it, and will do again, so it doesn't have the spring. These were from my spare collection. The spring will be removed because an IP digital is going in underneath. And the 4DD would never be tasked to go around here, so I'm going to use just a big diesel instead. And this class 42, gosh, that is close. It's close, but it's not hitting. So that means that, yeah, we've got the ability to, certainly wagons, that's all that would really come in and out of here. And it's a super tight fit, very limited clearance, but there's still a bit of space there. Not much, but it's not touching, and that's the important thing. So there we have it. I've got my clearances, and I can glue back in the original tunnel portal. It's just moved over ever so slightly. The hidden bit, that's why you never cut these stuff off if you can hide it in the scenery, that will just take up the slack. So that's one side of what is now a bridge. And this side I've got to have a good think about. I think what I need to do is get the track secured down. And this is something you'll run into a lot, where it's, I need to do this, but I can't do this because this needs doing first. But I can't do that because this needs doing first. And I can't do that because this needs doing first. And it's a kind of project management thing. But I think it's time to get the track work all secured. And I'll get the point motors in. Certainly the original ones that went under the 2 points that were here before will go back underneath these two. And I just need an extra point motor underneath there. And that's the one that I've had lying around. This has never been fitted, but foolishly, I fitted the right angle thing. And I think that that's going to run into difficulties because of a cross member underneath. So I might have to take that right angle off and see about getting a new pin for it, because stupidly trimmed that off, won't go all the way through the baseboard now. And I'm going to get this piece of track all in place, but I'm really happy I've got the clearances sorted. Additional support is provided by...
This is Clark Railworks, and this is what we do. You'll know us from Ellis Clark Trains, and you'll get the same friendly expertise with us too. We've got a huge range of pre-owned model railways from all your favourite manufacturers, and maybe some you hadn't heard of before. It's the place to come for quality. We don't stock substandard models, and everything we sell is fully tested and photographed by model railway experts. No matter whether you model double O gauge, N, HO or more, we have sought after models from all around the world with new listings added every weekday. Check out what's available now at clarkrailworks.com and don't miss out on your latest logo.
Fixed in all the track work. This is now all aligned, holes are put in. I've also added in the wires for the frog switching. Don't have the point motor in yet for this one. It's to be done. I need to sort out a few bits and pieces. I've been test fitting the bridge and I've come up with a really great solution. What I've actually done is from that bridge, I've taken off some of the Pico girder sides from the other side, and it turns out a full one of those makes it the perfect width, and actually I quite like the colour as well. It goes with the brick. This is the third location that they've been in, at least. They started out being used on Bolton Trinity Road. In fact, they were the girders for the main station building where it used to go over the tracks and the platforms. They then became part of the bridge that's actually just over there. And I got to realising I needed this a bit wider, and I sort of ummed and ahed, pondered on it. And then I realised I had the perfect girders already here. They were going to get pulled out because that bridge is being completely rebuilt as we move around the layout. And they're perfect, just bridging across between the original piers. Now I will reuse the piece that came with this Scenecraft bridge on somewhere else on the project. I've already got somewhere in mind where I think it's really going to just kind of do its thing. But for now, this seems to work quite well. I'm going to use some painted plasticard to brick in underneath, so you will actually see the full scenic bridge all the way through, which I think is going to look absolutely great. I think it's also quite important. Now this is something from the Slaters range. You can get all sorts of things from cobbles to slates and much more besides. And I had a couple of sheets of this and I thought, right, well, I want the underside of this bridge to be fully scenic. The tunnel never was. It was just open inside. So I've glued in, cut to fit and glued this piece of plasticard embossed. Now it looks quite angry and red. I'm going to paint that. I'm not painting it just yet. There doesn't really seem to be a great need. Plus I want all this glue to set. Track work underneath, all in and tested, works brilliant. And it means that now we've got some working points. So I think you can just see in there, number 2, and that's the lead into the yard. And this point is also set up. And that will work in tandem on the same accessory number with this when I get the point motor in place. For now, that's all I'm going to do on the track work. I want to turn to the mountain and actually start putting in the rock faces. This is going to be, for me at least, really great fun. And I'm going to try and work out how to film all of this, but it's really going to start to hopefully come together in the next episode. Now, I've precast a huge number of rock faces, and I've used my Woodland Scenics moulds for these. These are done in plaster. It's exactly the same thing that I wanted to do that I did with Mynydd Tatws Newydd, where instead of thinking, well, I'm going to need that piece there and that piece there, and then casting them effectively to order, rubbish. No, stifles creativity. I just cast loads of these, and I've got a tray down here just absolutely full. 4 different moulds I've got, used them all, some of them more than others, and I've actually cast a few of the big ones. I got 2 of the really big ones. I didn't think, actually, when I did Mynydd Tatws Newydd, I thought that these were too big. I cast a single one for that, ended up snapping it in half. It was just too big. But actually for this, it's a much bigger mountain. They've come into their own. I've cast 2 out of them, plus a number from the smaller big piece, and then a whole host of other bits and pieces. And I've also got all those salvaged ready rocks, and these are actually another design altogether. And they're going to add a little bit of variety. They will all get repainted with a new colour wash. But I hope you're really being enjoying the progress so far. Do give a like if you have. Check out the affiliate link down below to any of the materials that we've been using. It's a great way of just keeping your projects up to date with mine. It's really great having you along for the journey. And tune in next time to see how Jabelight's Peak is going to come together. Today's video comes in association with Trainomatic, makers of DCT decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Find the full range available to order now at tramfabriek.co.uk. Additional support is provided by...
This is Clark Railworks, and this is what we do. You'll know us from Ellis Clark Trains, and you'll get the same friendly expertise with us too. We've got a huge range of pre-owned model railways from all your favourite manufacturers, and maybe some you hadn't heard of before. It's the place to come for quality. We don't stock substandard models, and everything we sell is fully tested and photographed by model railway experts. No matter whether you model double O gauge, N, HO or more, we have sought after models from all around the world with new listings added every weekday. Check out what's available now at clarkrailworks.com and don't miss out on your latest logo.
We're proud to be supported by TMC, the Model Centre, your first choice for new and used. Pre-order all forthcoming models with confidence, or check out the extensive listings of second-hand. Each model is checked by experts in the field to make sure you're getting the very best. With new models uploaded daily, there's always something new to find. You can also specify from their value weathering and renumbering service right through to bespoke graffiti to get exactly the model that you want. Get something special today by browsing at themodelcentre.com. I'd like to thank everybody over on Patreon, and an extra special huge thanks goes out to our Patreon heroes. Without you guys over on Patreon, we really wouldn't be able to keep making the video content that you see on this channel. And don't forget that you can also head on over to patreon.com/Jennifer Kirk and check out the different tiers of rewards. Thank you so much. You are absolute legends.